Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it's the end of the week at Celtic Football Club, a week where we've seen the return of the team to action down at Somerset Park on Friday night. So we've got a few things to cover today, including Brendan Rodgers' latest comments in the pursuit of a new goalkeeper, some transfer news, just a general bulletin update for you all. So apologies for the absence of Ryan 118 videos in the last couple of days. It's been a busy weekend. Shall we talk about Celtic? Let's do that. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated. We are 1 or 2 subscribers away from 44,000. So if you haven't already, please go down, hit like, hit subscribe. We're on that journey towards 50k. It would be much appreciated. As I said, apologies for the lack of videos over the last couple of days. I was down at Somerset Park for the game on Friday night. I was busy yesterday. There wasn't too much to talk about. I said to myself, we'll save it for today. We'll get a big massive update all in the one to end off the week and to provide something on your probably rough Sundays. So let's talk about all the news. Let's have a wee recap of Friday night as well. And the most important message of today's video, before I forget to do it, could I just say a very happy belated birthday to Orla, who I had the pleasure of meeting on Friday night alongside her family. Huge Ryan 118 fan, perhaps the biggest Ryan 118 fan I've ever met. But happy birthday, hope you enjoyed the game, God bless you and your family. Let's talk about Celtic. So as I said, I was down there on Friday night for the first pre-season friendly game. A messy game. I mean, what are you expecting? It's the first friendly of the season. It's against Ayr. It's a run out for a lot of the B team players. You're not going down expecting a high quality game, and we didn't get a high quality game. What the good thing was is it gets us kick started. It allows players to start getting minutes in the legs, and despite the absence of the usual stars, you know, your Callum McGregors, your Alistair Johnsons, the fact we've still not got a goalkeeper, despite the absence of all these players, you know, it allows the B team guys to go out, show what they can do, while also playing with some of the more experienced players, the likes of Kyogo, who played the first half of the game, the likes of Iwata, who was there, Nawrowski, who was briefly there, players who are in and about the first team. Gives them the opportunity to line up alongside them. And yeah, it was a messy game, finished 1-1, both goals were penalty kicks. Kyogo scored Celtics. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come as the season goes on. But it was a cracking wee night out, and that's the main thing. You know, it was fun, the fans had a good laugh, the pitch was full of Celtic fans come the final whistle. I believe the corner flag at the railway end was stolen by someone. It's typical friendly stuff. Not very friendly, but friendly stuff. But yeah, it was good. The biggest concern of the day was Mike Nawrowski, as we just priorly mentioned. He went off injured about 20 minutes into the game. We still await an update on how serious that injury is, but I think it stresses the importance now of getting centre halves into this side. Mike Nawrowski is someone who has waited so patiently for his chance as a Celtic player. Had to play second fiddle to Liam Scales last season. Liam Scales took the place that Mike Nawrowski was meant to occupy due to his injury problems. And to get injured in the first game of pre-season isn't a great sign. So I hope it's something minor. I'm hoping he was taken off as a precaution. We'll probably hear more the next time Brendan Rodgers speaks ahead of our US tour. But hopefully it's nothing bad, because he has got a part to play this year, Mike Nawrowski, even if he is a second choice centre half. You know, we need that depth, and losing somebody early on is never great. One of the biggest talking points from the game was Bosun Lal, who has had a lot of great reviews on social media following his second half performance against Ayr. I was impressed from the very little we got to see of him. You know, 45 minutes in a friendly. It's not as if he was on the ball constantly, but a couple of impressive runs, a couple of impressive interceptions. Somebody who definitely be considered as an option for Celtic this season. I just like prefacing all of that by saying, when it comes to pre-season friendlies, I hate the overreaction on either side. When somebody plays bad in pre-season, I hate it when people get carried away and think that's it, they're done. And when somebody plays okay in pre-season, I hate them saying that they're going to be the next big thing and a star. We'll judge it as the important games come, but he's definitely a talent. There is no denying that. I think he proved himself at Fleetwood very, very well. Impressed from the very brief cameo that we've seen of him at Air on Friday night. So we'll see what provides or what comes from this pre-season for him. Will he be part of Brendan Rodgers' plans? We'll wait and see. But obviously we've got a lot of strengthening to do in this side, so we'll have that conversation probably closer to the start of the season. So yeah, it was a good night. I enjoyed it on Friday, but the hard work needs to start now, and we need to get signings made. Scott Bain, Toby Oluyemi and Josh Clark all made appearances and goals for Celtic on Friday night, but it begs the question, when will Celtic finally sign a goalkeeper? Well, Brendan Rodgers has shed some light on that, and it doesn't sound like we're going to have one anytime soon. And when I say anytime soon, I mean for the tour of America. It looks as though if we do sign a keeper, which we most likely will eventually, it will be closer to the first game of the domestic season. Brendan Rodgers said this following the game on Friday night. He said it's certainly one of the areas that we need to improve, and we've known that since Joe said that he was leaving. So yes, a bit of time. We aim to have that done by the beginning of the season for sure. There are loads of names flying about, so just a good one would be nice. So Brendan Rodgers kind of shedding some light on the fact that maybe it'll be closer to the start of the season. We have a goalkeeper, it might not be in the next week or two, which kind of contradicts what John Kennedy said. But you never know, keeping his cards close to his chest. There's no point in speculating too much, because I think Brendan Rodgers does like operating like that. Keeps his cards close to his chest, maybe surprises with a signing out of nowhere. So, you know, we can't predict too much what's going to happen for an exact date or period of time. It could just happen. He was asked about specific goalkeepers, including Kasper Schmeichel, his former Leicester City captain. He just said, you know, the basics. You know, he's once again keeping his cards close to his chest. So hopefully we have something sorted soon. We really do need a goalkeeper. Peter Vindal Jensen still remains the top target according to Football Scotland, but we have been linked with a plethora of names when it comes to between the sticks. I just hope that we have someone sooner rather than later, because I'd love them to gel in and get that confidence of playing a couple of games before Kilmarnock on the first weekend of August. So yeah, we've got work to do. This was the comment though that really, I would say more impressed me than anything. Once again, I don't like reading into things too much and making a big deal out of certain comments, but Rodgers also added this quote in, saying that we could have had 9 players in by now if we wanted, but it's all about the right players that we want. There's no point in us doing anything other than that, and sometimes that takes a little bit of patience. In the world nowadays where everything's immediate, everyone thinks you can do it straight away, but it's not always the case. He then goes on to talk about the collaboration between Celtic and other clubs to get players in. Of course, we would want to get things done sooner rather than later, but it's always a two-way thing. So Brendan Rodgers urging the fans for a little bit of patience. And I completely understand it, you know, especially in this world, in this day and age of social media, where fans get jealous of seeing other clubs doing business, where people think things should be immediate and they're waiting to scroll through Twitter for some news. It's always difficult. It's never as easy, especially when you want the right players. So you've got to put some faith in the manager. He wants to clearly sign players that are his signings this summer, and not make look at last year. You know, we made upwards of 7-8 signings that contributed really nothing to this team in the summer window, and Brendan Rodgers will be keen to avoid that same disaster. So urging for that little bit of patience. Yes, it's tedious, but we're on the 7th of July. Give it another couple of weeks before your panic sets in. Trust in the manager, trust in the team to improve. I'm sure we will get those players in, but as I said, it's a two-way thing. You know, teams aren't just going to sell on the first time of asking, but hopefully we have Ida in soon. Hopefully we have another couple of players, and we're better equipped for that first game of the season. Talking about that plethora of names being linked with Celtic to reinforce the goalkeeping department, the most recent name that has been once more linked with us is Yvonne Mvogo of Switzerland. His name has been linked with Celtic, not for the first time, but very recently by French outlet L'Equipe, of course, one of the leading, if not the biggest, sports publication in France. It's been reported by them that Celtic are looking at the possibility of bringing in Von Vogel. He's leaving Lorient. He's due to leave. A few clubs are interested, and L'Equipe is saying that Celtic are one of those clubs. I think they're along with teams like Nice and other French clubs, etc. If I was, I always try and give my opinion on this as a whole point of my channel. I don't think it'll be Von Vogel. I think that he'll probably have more attractive offers on the table to him. I would be happy with Von Vogel. I think he's a good keeper. 30 years of age, a decent age as well. Experienced, played at the highest level, played at international level. He would be a good keeper. Do I think Celtic will get him? No, probably not. But a talented keeper nonetheless. Nonetheless. Can't get my words out today. And just keep an eye on that. But yeah, a few teams looking at him across the continent, Celtic being one of them. One player we didn't see on Friday night, not even on the bench or anything, was Matt O'Reilly, who we all expect to see depart Celtic this summer. Very sad. I hate continuously talking about it, but we have to. Leicester City have become the latest side to look at the possibility of signing Matt O'Reilly. Headlines this morning were saying that Matt O'Reilly's got a new Premier League side entering the race, with Football Scotland reporting that Leicester City are the latest Premier League side looking at Matt O'Reilly, according to reports. They need a replacement for Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, who has just left to join Chelsea. Matt O'Reilly apparently one of the candidates to be that replacement. So yeah, the race is ramping up. Obviously we heard that Southampton had a bid to prepare that wasn't to the valuation that Celtic have of the player. So Cubs are going to have to start battling now if they really do want to sign Matt O'Reilly, if they're serious about it. So I think that we might see something more serious as this week progresses, to be honest. I wouldn't be shocked if by this time next week Matt O'Reilly is being, along the lines of a medical, to be quite honest. I think that might heat up very, very soon. So keep an eye out. Leicester City, another Premier League club, would be a good move for Matt in terms of getting that step into the Premier League. I still think it's nonsense players leave Celtic for Leicester City and the likes, but you know what the world's like nowadays. So yeah, there you go, Matt O'Reilly. And that is about it for this afternoon. There was a story that came out last night in the Record about 10:30 in regards to Paulo Bernardo and his potential transfer to Celtic, but it really doesn't shed anything more in the story, shed any more light that we already know. It's the situation that stays the same. So until there's something significant to say about that, you can assume where it is. But for today, that does us. So if you have enjoyed, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow to kick off a new week. Hopefully some juicy stories tonight. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But yeah, thank you. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you all next time.